How can you just live with the fact that your son will kill people just because he got the order to do so? In most cases, a mother will be able to give birth to multiple childs, and this means that it will not be that painful for her to say goodbye to him. If I would be in power, I would just chain you all up and drown you. Putin shows everyone their place, hurrah! And then they go and continue to be proud while doing their business on those toilets.
Геббельс же говорил, чем невероятнее ложь, тем быстрее в нее поверят. И он добивался своего. Он был талантливый человек.
Hello, dear friends of freedom. Today I translated an entire episode from the channel Fooled Russian, which is run by a very talented political satirist, Vitaly Shevtsov. Unfortunately, outside of his channel, there is not much known about this person. However, he is very talented in choosing and commenting content that perfectly displays the extent of your average fooled Russian. Hello, dear friends. This brave woman is calling for Russian mothers to get their kids out of there, while it is still possible to save them. And you just plan to sit there and wait until the one who stole all our pensions, who robbed the entire country, will give you 7 million ruble for your son? Have you lost your mind? Straighten up, get ready, and get your sons out of there. Have you lost your mind? Why aren't you doing anything about it? Why aren't you saying anything against it? How can you just accept it? How can you just live with the fact that your son will kill people just because he got the order to do so? And who has given them this order? The one who has robbed us our entire life. I really hope that all our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, and our wives will go out and get their sons back out of this bloody war. And here we have a KGB priest who is advising Russian mothers to simply give birth to more sons to solve this problem. And how are we supposed to treat those young people who are currently leaving our country to escape mobilization? How are we supposed to treat those people who nowadays just refused to serve their duty? It means they don't want to confront themselves with their own weakness. It's not very Christian of them to do so. They should rather go to war in order to protect the yachts and castles of Russian oligarchs. A friend of my family sold almost everything she had and sent her child to the Canary Islands because she is very worried about him, about her only child. It was not possible to explain all of this to her because she said that he is all she has. She said that she is ready to give everything so that her child, her only child, could be safe and far away from this incomprehensible situation. Can you understand those mothers? Can you understand their hearts in this situation? I can understand very well that God, in most cases, have given women the ability to give birth to multiple childs. What's the problem, says the KGB priest. Just give birth to an additional child, for the sake of your government. In most cases, a mother will be able to give birth to multiple childs, and this means that it will not be that painful for her to say goodbye to him. So his advice is to just have another child, so it's not that sad to say goodbye to the first one. This is the facial expression of Dmitry Medvedev, who came on an excursion to Uralvagonzavod. Disappointment, desperation, resentment, and the awareness of the inevitable end that is coming closer and closer. That's how I would describe this picture. And of course, we also see his fist clenched in sheer helplessness, as if it were emphasizing the whole hopelessness of his situation. The propagandist Anton Krasovsky, who suggested to drown Ukrainian children, said in his telegram, "Sorry, it came off so weird. I just sat on the live broadcast and it just got the better of me." What actually will be weird is when later on your prison cell gets opened and 10 grown-up men will enter and you only manage to paint your fingernails on one hand. This situation will be actually weird. We will soon be able to experience this weirdness. And regarding your apology, you will meet God soon enough and you will see if He forgives you. Those guys will simply help you to organize this meeting as fast as possible. And here is a quick side note from myself regarding Anton Krasovsky. The fact that he got fired from RT has only happened because this incident received a lot of media attention, and the RT administration was forced to react. Because what he, as RT's director of broadcasting, said was not an accident. It is what everyone at RT is thinking, just that he was less careful about hiding their true intentions. But when Russian propagandists happily report about new strikes on residential buildings, energy infrastructure, and the need to make Ukrainians sit in darkness and cold, this also does include Ukrainian children. The only difference is that they don't say it out loud like Anton did. But Anton has been like this all along, and it has never kept him from climbing up the career ladder and earning huge sums of Russian tax money. In Russia, unlike someone who is calling a war, a TV host who openly claims that children or protesters should be killed will have no legal consequences. Here is an example of a statement Anton gave during the Navalny protests 1.5 years ago. What we can see is those kids are running around and screaming power to the people. I want to remind you that we are the power here. You can be happy that Vladimir Putin is in charge here and not such an asshole like me, for example. If I would be in power, I would just chain you all up and drown you. Do you know what a wooden toilet is called according to Putin's logic? Those are not toilets, those are pillars of greatness. Do you know what the real price of all those hypersonic missiles and all those atomic submarines is? All those tanks and all those mighty praised military technologies. This is how we, the people, pay for it. We pay for it with such conditions of life. Look at this. Just take a look. Well, those houses look perfectly appropriate for all those people who were given money to build new tanks and hypersonic missiles. After the regime change, those people should be relocated in houses like this. Our entire nation is very proud of those modern weapons. They feel like they are the winner nation. And while the Russian nation is proud that they are the winners, they go to such toilets and continue to be proud of their hypersonic long-range missiles. And while they are proud of that, they have those kinds of pillars of greatness. Dear Russians, should we continue to be proud as we're supposed to be? They are saying, we will rip everyone apart, we will put America on their knees, Putin shows everyone their place, hurrah! And then they go and continue to be proud while doing their business on those toilets. They're sitting there and thinking, how many more hypersonic missiles can Putin build? And they are proudly sitting there. Can you imagine the look on the faces of those proud people when they realize that in their army there aren't any modern tanks, no modern warplanes, and no modern long-range missiles? What do you think? Is there a chance that we could lose? That we could lose? No, of course not. But what would happen if this would really happen? No, this is simply impossible. Could there be the chance that we would lose? We? No, that's impossible. If necessary, everyone will stand up and go to war. 200,000 showed up at the enlistment office, and almost 1 million have fled over the border. Everyone will show up, everyone. I think nothing like that could happen, because Russia is a very powerful country. And do you believe Vladimir Putin could use nuclear weapons? No, he has a very sober mind. Well, it is quite possible that if there will be no kind of progress and if there will be a second wave of mobilization, that we could end up having a revolution here. We won't lose. Why? Because I believe in Russia. Everything will be good. I think losing is very unlikely. It's very unlikely that we could lose. I can't give you a competent answer, there are so many opinions. No, it's not possible that we lose, but I cannot give you a proper competent answer on that matter. Hello everyone. So I am a member of this group and we are gathering donations so we can buy our troops thermal imagers because it's very cold and our soldiers are just freezing and those thermal imagers are very expensive. They cost like 50 to 100,000 ruble. Russian troops simply need thermal imagers to keep them warm when they lie on the cold ground in the trenches and the wind is blowing. They can just take out the thermal imager, look through it, and they immediately become warm again. So yes, if you have the option to support us with money, I will leave my credit card information in the description. Any amount, even if it's just 10, 20 or 100 ruble, would help us. Here are my bank details. Just send the money there. It's all for our troops, really, it's all for our troops. Look at this embarrassment. Putin is negotiating with the president of Guinea-Bissau. These are pictures of Guinea-Bissau. People there still mostly live without electricity. In the 21st century, this is a country that still doesn't have one single power plant. He is planning to discuss important geopolitical issues there and the increase of international trade, because Myanmar already bought 2 tanks of oil, and maybe he will be able to sell Guinea-Bissau at least another 1.5.